You're listening to Forgotten or Forbidden. Read by Chest and LilaJean. Written by LilaJean.
Chapter 4. Barking Up the Wrong Tree. A painfully deafening silence fell over Mumbo's ears, so still that the only noise he could hear was the steady crackle of the fire and the hum of bees that was once drowned out by the chatter of friendly conversation. Glancing from enlarged pupil to open jaw, he shrunk under the weight of their gaze. It was like he had done something unbelievably inappropriate. In those ghost-quiet seconds, he froze, watching as Etho gently placed down a mug, and Xisuma tensely clenched his fists, and Ren just stood in utter dumbfounded shock. Mumbo's breath locked up in panic. They must know. I didn't know how, but they must have figured it out. Sweat increased on his forehead, replacing the moisture that had left his throat so dry and sticky. What's wrong? He spoke without a moment, trying to play dumb. Overcome with the fire in his cheeks and the rope around his neck, he fidgeted with his thread tie. Xisuma glared at the young man. Of course. Stupid! He kicked himself. Of course X would go after Mumbo. He was smart, young, honest. Why didn't he see it at first?
Mumbo Jumbo, don't play dumb. We know.
Ren and Etho shared a worried side glance at X. His voice was commanding and harsh, that of an angry father scolding a child. Mumbo blinked at the three faces. Ren stepped forward. You can't hide the secret. We know, my dude. I can't pretend. They must know about him. He saw the blonde hermit's face smiling from this morning. I trust you, he had said. Couldn't let Grian down. But it looked like it was too late. The red stoner took a defeated sigh and hung his head in shame. The poor guy. Etho softly held a cautious hand out.
Has he hurt you?
Etho said with a sympathetic voice. Of course not! Mumbo's voice took on an indignant tone. He may have secrets, but he would never hurt me. Xisuma shook his head.
No, Mumbo, that's what he wants you to believe. He told you that, right? He told you you can trust him.
He would swear his life. Mumbo stood, unmoving.
He lies. That's what he does.
Xisuma spoke from experience. X, what are you talking about? The hermit's voice verged on the edge of cracking. Etho stepped forward, grasping the redstoner's hand.
He told you to get the books, right?
Yes.
He uses them to get more control over your mind. He's trying to gain enough power to possess you.
And why in the world would he want that? Mumbo's face had reddened and his mouth cracked, but Etho was patient and constant as he explained, like he was comforting a scared child.
So he could take over the server and hurt people.
Mumbo brushed the ninja's hand away. He would never hurt people. Still in shock, Ren harshly brushed through his own hair. Tell that to the people he hurt last time. He didn't hurt people. Not on purpose. Finally, Xisuma pushed away his anger and attempted to tame his voice into the calmest thing he could muster.
Mumbo, I know he seems like a friend, but he uses his powers to hurt and even kill people.
And staring at the redstoner, a face fully devoid of humor or anger or fear or anything completely genuine, Xisuma spoke from the heart.
I've seen him, the good sides of him, and the broken sides of him, and he killed someone very dear to me. I love him, but I can't ever trust him again.
When he spoke those words, the room was instantly quiet. Every heartbeat was synced, staring at the redstoner, who suddenly looked very weak. He nodded. Mumbo pulled over a chair, knowing that it was very possible he was going to fall over. X's voice was so real, so serious, and so full of pain and regret. I'm sorry, X. No matter what. I just can't believe Grian would do that.
Wait, what?
Meekly, Mumbo stared at his hands in his lap. Grian! I can't believe he would do that.
What does Grian have to do with anything?
The man said, furrowing his eyebrows. The person that got killed, that was him. Looking up, the Redstoner was puzzled by their confused expressions. Bro, I'm pretty sure G ain't dead, Ren added to the conversation what he could understand, which wasn't much. No, I mean you said Grian killed a person. X, now thoroughly confused and worried, stared at his little suited man, taken aback.
Grian killed someone?
Mumbo looked into the eyes of a very bewildered man. Well, at least that's what you said. I still don't believe it.
What? I never mentioned Grian.
Etho, thinking he might have deciphered the miscommunication, spoke up.
Okay, wait, hold on. The person who made you grab these galactic.
X corrected.
Yeah, thanks, that. The person who made you grab that book, who was that?
Mumbo thought it was quite obvious who he was talking about. Grian!
Grian? Oh, thank goodness!
Xisuma said as the breath that the three of the men had been collectively holding ever since the moment Mumbo had asked for the book was released with a heavy sigh of relief. Wait, who are you guys talking about? Ren talked to the very pale Hermit. Evil X, he's back. We thought he was screwing with you. Oh. Then, Xisuma's sudden relief was replaced with worry and confusion once again.
Wait, why is Grian learning galactic? And why did you think I was talking about him?
Oh crap! His face exploded in flames. He had inadvertently given away his bro's secret. His nervous fidgeting started up again. Oh, nothing. It's really stupid. It's about a prank. He wasn't fully lying. It was about a prank. He was just leaving out information. Selective information relaying, that's what he called it. Not a lie. But Ren, Etho, and Xisuma were obviously not buying it. But you said... But before the dogman could finish, the Redstoner jumped up, unable to handle the confronting stares, and ran to the door. The trio wasn't expecting that, and stood blinking in Mumbo's dust. But then, regaining consciousness, they followed the tall figure. Out of the house they raced. Didn't realize how fast Mumbo was, X thought, surprised he hadn't caught him yet. Mumbo wasn't known for his PvP skills. And swiftly, the gentleman strapped his elytra on and flew off. Iskall stood, placing the last leaf block. It was certainly not the last block for his building. His huge tree base was still very bare, but it was the last block for today. It was getting dark. He smiled, satisfied in his work. Then he jumped down and flew through the large trunk of his tree. His base was like a tall and wide skyscraper of a tree. He had built it up, bottom to top, and each stretching wood branch. Now he was adding leaves, so the autumn tree would take on a more alive appearance. Inside the trunk he held up the cylinder, and in the tall wood walls were walkways wandering around the inside, leading into little rooms carved into the wall. One room, the one he glided for, was a little living room with storage, stoves, a table set, and a bed. The bright room smelled of warm nature and tasteful oak. Iskall suddenly froze. There on the table in the middle of the room was a little plate with some kind of meat on it. Steam was wafting up in a delectable way. Even though his mouth watered, Iskall hesitated. He didn't remember making dinner. Well, he wasn't going to waste a perfectly good meal. And with that he sat and began to eat, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows.